Hey, Frank Kern here. What I'm about to show you in this video might literally be the most powerful and the most consistent and the simplest way to generate sales online, regardless of what type of business you have. And you know what's crazy is that what I'm about to show you is so simple that I didn't think it would work. As a matter of fact, I laughed it off until it ended up bringing in just over 200 $1,000 in sales in under a week. I'll show you exactly how it works, but first let me show you what happened. This is crazy. So in late November of 2021, my friend Aaron Fletcher reached out to me and he said, "Hey man, you want to do a promotion together for Black Friday?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." So we put together an offer and built a sales page, and then it was time to start promoting. And Aaron suggested that we try this really weird and overly simplified approach that I laughed off. I said, "Okay, whatever, might as well. Let's see what happens." And boy, did it ever take off. In the first 2 days of this promotion, we ended up doing $43,690 in sales. And I sure wasn't laughing anymore. And we decided to keep on doing more of what was working. By the time we hit the 7 day mark, we had exceeded $200,000 in sales. And what's crazy is that was before we ever sent any emails to our mailing lists or before we even ran any ads. It's all from this one unbelievably simple approach. Oh, and by the way, the thing we were selling, it wasn't expensive. It was a low ticket offer. It was $297. So let me show you exactly what we did. Between November 16th, when we first started promoting it, and November 24th, which was right before we actually started sending emails and running ads, all we did was make super simple organic social media posts. I made 9 of them in total, and you can see them here, and they're all relatively similar, but they all had this one thing in common, which was they would ask the reader to reply in the comments if they were interested in finding out about the offer that was coming up. And this is where it got crazy because it was so simple. We didn't use any fancy automation, anything technical. In fact, we just used people. And so what would happen is someone would reply, and then someone from our team would just start a direct message conversation with them all over Messenger. And well, let me show you. So it worked like this. When someone would comment on one of those social media posts, someone from the team would reach out over Messenger and they'd say hello, and then they would just send a message with a little link to go and find out about the offer. And that was it. So it was basically cutting and pasting done by real people. And sometimes the person would buy right then, and sometimes they might respond back with a few questions. But the bottom line was there was no technology, nothing fancy, no automation, just a person cutting and pasting a link to everyone that said, "Yeah, I'm interested." And it worked like crazy. Just a handful of social media posts that looked like this one spread out over the course of a week ended up doing just a hair over $200,000 in revenue. And man, I thought we were really on to something. Little did I know that it would get way cooler. All right, you know that old saying where it says if something's working really, really well, you want to keep doing a lot more of it? Well, I actually paid attention to that for once, and I decided to keep using this method. But I wanted to test it using something else. And I got really, really lucky because right around Thanksgiving, my daughter, Nora, she's 19, zero sales experience, she decided that she wanted to work in the family business part-time over the holidays. So right around November 30th, actually on November 30th, I decided, hey, let's give it a shot. So I made this little post right here, and this was for a different offer than the one that I was promoting earlier. This was where someone could get one of my trainings as a free bribe to get them to take a trial of one of my cool programs. So the posts, just like the one you see here, it said, hey, if you're interested in this, just let us know in the comments and someone will reach out to you. And it worked great. Someone would comment, and then my daughter would just message them, and she would just cut and paste a little message here and send them a link to it. And that was pretty much it. Some folks would reply with questions or whatever, but that was kind of the whole deal. It was literally that simple. She ended up getting 60 new customers, which was great, because it was unbelievably simple. It took only 3 posts and hey, 60 customers are 60 customers. I'll take that any day of the week. And then something amazing happened. So between December 28th and December 31st, I sent 321,000 emails about a new offer. And the emails just weren't getting read. They weren't getting open. And you've probably experienced this before in your business. And the sales just weren't coming in. As a matter of fact, all of those emails only resulted in 85 new customers, which was a little bit disappointing. And then it occurred to me, hey, wait a minute. What if I just do the same thing with the social media posts, but there was a challenge? And the challenge was my daughter was off for the holidays. So I decided to see what would happen if I automated it. And that's when things went crazy. So on New Year's Eve, I made this post. It was right around noon, and it was the same type of post as all of the other ones. The only difference was this time, instead of a real person having to reach out, I just automated the whole thing. On that afternoon, December 31st, from that one post, I ended up getting 41 new customers. But it gets better because, as you know, when you make a post on social media, it doesn't just go away. Posts you make today can continue to do good for your business well into the future. So look what happened over the course of the next couple of days. By January 2nd, it had reached 106 sales. Of course, when something's working well, you want to do a whole lot more of it. So I made a couple of more posts, as you can see. And by January 5th, as a result of these posts, the total amount of sales was 127 sales. A handful of social media posts performed better than 321,000 email messages, which is insane, but also awesome because all of this was automated. I didn't lift a finger and it didn't cost me a dime. But something was kind of bothering me a little bit, which was okay. Now, what I'm doing with all of these is I'm making these posts and everything's automated and I'm getting customers and it's cool, but all of these are free trials. And usually about 30% of the people that take the trial end up becoming members. But I wanted to see what would happen if I use this same approach to drive people to a sales page where they just buy something outright. So I did it and I decided to record it for you in real time. Now, this is going to be a little weird for just a second because the footage you're about to watch is stuff I recorded before the thing that I'm recording for you right now. So the dates and times are going to be kind of weird on this one. But the reason we're doing it this way is so I could literally give you the closest experience possible of actually looking over my shoulder as I build this stuff. So check it out. Here's an example in real time as I'm filming this, where I brought in about $1,031 in almost 7 hours. So here is the funnel. And just to give you some context, we hit refresh here. I'm shooting this portion of the video for you at 4:42 in the afternoon on January 18th. And that revenue that you just saw is a direct result of this organic post. When you look at this post here, I just want to show you when it was published. I published this today, January 18th. That's why I'm shooting this portion of the video for you at 10:02 a.m. So what time was it again? 4:42. Yeah. So we're looking at just about 7 hours, and that brought in $1,031. Pretty sweet, right? One little post, a little bit more than $1,000. Now, check out this next little clip that I filmed the following morning. So it'd been almost 24 hours. Here we go. All right, fast forward now to the next day. So if you look on my screen here, let me hit refresh just to let you know no shenanigans here. I'm recording this little segment for you at 11:11 a.m. on January the 19th. So it's 25 hours after that first post for this little test. Look at the sales results here. $3,504. And again, I just want to show you these posts. I ended up doing a second post right after I filmed that last section for you. So the very first post went live yesterday as I'm filming this at 10:02 a.m. So it's like 25 hours ago. Right after I filmed you the little update that you just saw, I went ahead and created a second post because, hey, why not? They're free. And that was yesterday at 5:35 p.m. And as of right now, 11:11 a.m., here we are with $3,504 in sales. So how cool was that, right? Like 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours, and just a hair over $3,500. Now, That's super cool. Imagine doing that every day. But if you're like me, you probably have two questions in the back of your mind. Question number one might be, okay, this obviously worked for free trials and it obviously worked for really inexpensive things. What if I don't sell that? And then the other question you might have is, what if you provide value and try to use this from posts that aren't overt sales pitches? Well, I had the same questions and the same concern, which is why I did the following experiment. I made this post at 2:03 in the afternoon on the 19th of January, and this is a content post. This is a 3-minute video where I'm actually giving really solid advice on social media ads. And then, as usual, in the post, I say, hey, if you're interested in having us do some ads for you, just leave a comment and I'll get back with you. So I made that post. And then I also made this one, which was kind of fun and kind of funny because I couldn't help it. And I wanted to see what would happen if I made something patently ridiculous. But the bottom line is, this was a totally different style of offer. This is a $497 offer. So I'm filming this for you right now. And the current time, let me hit refresh, is 5:15 in the afternoon on the 20th, right? Let's see how these two posts performed. Between yesterday and right now, it's only been, barely over a day. Those two posts have brought in 5 customers at $497 each. So a little under 2,500 bucks, which is fantastic, right? So this method is unbelievably powerful. It's super simple and it works. And as cool as all of that stuff is, the best part is everything I've showed you is just scratching the surface in terms of what you can do when you take advantage of this approach. I'll give you another example. One of the posts that I created brought in 637 email addresses. Another one has brought in 1,394 email addresses. In total, I've gotten 3,789 new opt-ins in addition to all of the sales that I've been making just by using this methodology. On top of all of that, let's talk about ads for a minute. Using this approach instead of driving people directly to a web page has lowered my lead costs by about 70%. It's also cut my advertising costs literally in half, which means that right now, the ad campaigns that are using this type of methodology are actually 2 times more profitable than the ad campaigns that aren't. I've got so much that I want to share with you and so many ways that this method can help you that I'm setting aside 3 days to work with you live over Zoom to show you everything that you can do to get more customers and more leads more consistently using this extremely simple methodology. The class begins on Monday, the 31st of January, and we're going to be working together over the course of 3 days. The first thing that we're going to be working on is one of the most important things, which is how do you actually get sales? I've been helping internet entrepreneurs since 1999, and I can tell you, no matter how much traffic you send, or no matter what type of marketing strategy you use, if you don't actually have your offer dialed in, meaning if your web page doesn't say the right stuff, or your video doesn't say the right stuff, or whatever, nobody's going to buy anything. So the very first thing we're going to do together is we're going to make it so that whenever you send an offer to people, it's an offer that it's really easy to say yes to. The second thing we're going to work on is how to make people want to buy from you before they ever get the chance. You've probably heard a lot of things about using social media, like you have to be on social media all the time, or that you need a lot of followers, or that you need to have already created a big and well-established brand. And the fact of the matter is that simply isn't true. Right now, I believe there's more opportunity with social media, especially in terms of getting customers, than there's ever been before, including back in the glory days when social media just came out. Right now, we have more tools available to us than we've ever had. So, literally anyone, even if they've never used social media before, can very quickly grow the most important thing in this equation, which is an engaged audience. Now, that has nothing to do with followers. It has nothing to do with fans. It has everything to do with what you're actually posting on social media, which is why a huge part of what we're going to be doing together is I'm going to be showing you how to build a responsive audience of people who know you, like you, and trust you, and how you can become extremely well known very quickly without being attached to your phone, without having to make a million posts per day, and without having to spend a ton of money on advertising. I'll show you exactly what to say in your social media posts, not only to build your brand, but to also educate your market, build that trust, and make offers that sell at the same time. On top of that, I'm going to be walking you through exactly what to say in your messages. So when somebody engages with you, whether they send you a message or you're sending them a message after they have expressed interest, I'm going to walk you through exactly what those conversations should look like, how to begin them, and how to ask people for the order or direct people to your website or ask people to schedule an appointment with you. As a matter of fact, while we're on that topic, I'll show you how to use this model and this methodology for every type of business imaginable. I've seen it work for e-commerce brands that sell direct to consumer. We've used this approach with clients that sell high ticket items. Of course, you've seen how well this works selling things like courses. This is also extremely effective to get appointments for coaching businesses or professional services, and it even works exceptionally well for local businesses. I've had one client that had unbelievable success using this type of methodology to sell window cleaning. Seriously, window cleaning. You're also going to learn exactly how to get email addresses and phone numbers of your prospects automatically. And if your results are anything like mine, you're going to see that you can quickly get more of them, even cheaper than you would if you were running traditional ads. And of course, you don't have to run ads if you don't want to. This works very, very well from organic traffic, as you've seen already in this video. You'll see how I'm getting leads and customers for as little as $5 a day when I do choose to advertise these posts that I'm making. And the reason behind that is the simple algorithm hack that I'll share with you. This one little algorithm hack isn't anything shady or anything black hat. As a matter of fact, you're doing exactly what Facebook and Instagram want you to. And when you do it the way that I share with you, Instagram and Facebook are going to do two things. Number one, they're going to be far more likely to show your content to people, even if those people aren't your followers and even if those people have never interacted with your brand before. And the second thing they're going to be more likely to do is they're going to give you much cheaper ad costs. Right now, the campaigns that I'm using when I'm using this for advertising are the least expensive campaigns that I have ever run in the 22 years and counting that I've been doing this. The bottom line is when you use this approach, you can become famous in your market. You can become very, very well known and respected. You can build a list of prospects, including their name, email address, and phone numbers, and you can make sales. And you can do all of this relatively quickly with little or no advertising expense. And you can even do it if nobody's ever heard of you. Now, the cool thing about the fact that this class is going to be taught live is that, of course, I will be available every day to answer your questions. And I expect you to have questions. Frankly, I've never taught everything that I'm going to be sharing with you in this class before. And I want to make sure that you walk away from this incredibly happy. And I want you to feel like this was the best decision you've ever made. And that's why I'm totally happy every single day during the class to take the extra time to answer your questions personally and make sure that you're able to implement this, to make sure that you know exactly what to say in your posts, and to make sure that if you decide to, You easily create all of the automations and do all of the tech stuff that makes this stuff really, really powerful if you choose to go down that road. As a matter of fact, speaking of automations, I've decided to make this a real no brainer for everybody by actually taking my automation templates that I use and giving them to you so you can simply install them in your favorite chatbot software. Now, remember, you don't actually have to automate this stuff if you don't want to. When we first started doing it, we did $200,000 in sales in 7 days, and we just did it all manually. But if you do choose to automate it, it becomes even more powerful. And I will give you all of my templates that are working right now so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Now, since we're already talking about really cool stuff and really good news, I'll go ahead and share some more with you, and that's the price. This workshop is something that I could easily sell for $2,997 because the last workshop that was similar to this sold for that price. But I've decided to sell it for just $297 for one reason and one reason alone, which is because I can. And because I enjoy this stuff and it's fun and I like teaching it, and I'm honored that you would consider allowing me to do so and help you do this. I know that when you take this class, it's really going to help your business. And I guess another one of the reasons I'm pricing it this low is because I want you to get really, really good results. If you're watching this, chances are you might even be one of my customers already, and you probably know that most of my customers end up being my customers for years. So I know that if I do a great job on this and you feel like you got way more than your money's worth, hey, the next time I come out with something new and cool, you're probably going to want to take it because, well, the last experience was really good. I know that sounds like common sense, but you would be surprised with the amount of marketers that that concept is simply lost on. So instead of doing some big high ticket thing and having a lot of hoopla or whatever, I thought it would be easiest for both of us if I made this so affordable that literally anyone with a business can afford to take it. Now, like I said earlier, this class is going to be taught live. We start on January 31st. That's a Monday, and we will work every day through that Wednesday, which is the 2nd of February. Now, please don't worry if you miss anything. Of course, everything is going to be recorded, and we're even going to take the extra steps to edit and transcribe the recordings for you and provide you with handouts so everything is really, really easy. So don't feel any pressure that you have to attend every live session. You don't. We'll make sure that you've got everything you need in order to get this method up and running in your business. So I look forward to seeing you in class, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And I look forward to hearing about the results you get when you implement what I'm going to share with you. Oh, and by the way, of course, you're protected by a 30-day money back guarantee. So, for if any reason, if you don't think this was amazing, simply let us know and I'll refund your full tuition, no questions asked. So, you literally have absolutely nothing to lose by investing in this training with me. But as you can see from the results I've been experiencing, there sure is a lot to potentially gain. That's why you should enroll right now while you're here on this page and it's fresh in your mind. Okay, once again, thanks so much for watching this. I sincerely appreciate your time and I look forward to working together. Take it easy.